And now, Mike's thoughts. The NFL, quote, experts. That's right, the experts have released the NFL power rankings for the next 3 seasons. Just not preseason, just not week 1, just not the 2023 NFL season, but 23, 24, and NFL season year 2025. Do you guys understand how hard it is even to get the preseason rankings right now? And they're going to do it 3 years in advance, 3 years power rankings? And you guys are all up in arms about me about predicting games early, right? Back in May and June is when I predicted my first games. I'm going to redo it here in like a little bit, starting next week or 2 weeks from now, first week of August. But 3 years in advance? But you guys agree with these people. They're like, oh, yeah, since it got the word expert by their name, since they have a 4-letter character next to their name as a part of the ESPN experts, NFL insiders, this, and this. And shut up with that crap. Shut up with that crap. 3 years power rankings, predicting the NFL power rankings 3 years in advance? Are we serious right now? Are we legit serious? Come on, guys. Stop supporting this crap. Do better. Do better. Do better. Do better. Because 3 years in advance? 3 years? Good Lord. Cue that intro.
Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Our Nation, rise up.
You know on the beat every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour. Sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Check out the blog section. See what we have happening over there. I've been doing a little bit of tinkering with the old interweb site there. So bada bing, bada boom. Hope you guys are enjoying it over there. So guys, it is Thursday edition, July 20th. Hope you guys are having a grand old day. We are on borrowed time right now, guys, with this 2 p.m. time slot. If you guys have not, if you're not a subscriber, I guess you guys haven't heard the news yet, but we are changing our 2 p.m. time slot. The date is to be determined because it is all about my work schedule, unfortunately, but we will be transferring to a 10 a.m. time slot in the foreseeable future, probably within the next month. So probably once NFL season gets up hot and heavy, middle of August, middle of September, we will be moving to that 10 a.m. time slot. But there is some good news. There are some positives coming back out of that. We give you guys the After Hours show. That's right. BC and myself will be back with the After Hours show, 10 p.m. East Coast time, right here on Facebook.com or YouTube.com. And we will be putting that out there on Spotify as well. So if you guys would like to subscribe to Spotify, do so, please. Subscribing helps us out. Sharing helps us out. But liking and commenting helps us out more than you will ever know. But guys, it is time to get into today's show. We are going to talk a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons and Desmond Ridder. What is going on down there in the Dirty Bird ATL, right? Denzel Mims was traded to the Detroit Lions. Is this good or bad? Saquon Barkley is ready to sit out for the 2023 NFL season, and Tua has put a label on the Miami Dolphins. What is that label? Stay tuned and find out. But first, we got to welcome some people into the chat here. We got Mama Buck in the chat. What is up, Mama? We got Nana in the chat as well. We got Wifey in the chat. What is up? We got BC in the chat. What's going on, BC? We got Javier in the chat as well over there on YouTube.com. What's up, Javier? Alpha Rob is dropping in. What's up, Alpha Rob? Well, hopefully you can stay for like a little while here. And then, of course, we got Nana in the chat. She says, what's up, baby? Slow it down, Nana. We got kids watching. Sheesh. If you guys don't know, Nana's a wild girl. Going out there on the beach, doing her thing. But let's get into today's show, guys. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Excuse me about that. Sorry. Got a little acid reflux or something. But my record button works. Are you going to work there, big guy? There we go. So Desmond Ridder says Drake London and Kyle Pitts are dogs. They are going to do some work this season. He says they are the weapons that we have always wanted. So on this If and Then Thursday here, if Kyle Pitts finally lives up to the hype of the 4th overall pick, then what? Guys, Kyle Pitts has kind of been not a first-round pick, not a 4th overall pick the last couple seasons. Last season, this guy had 356 yards for two touchdowns. Yes, I know he missed a significant amount of time with an injury last season, so put into stock whatever you want with that, right? But in his rookie year, he had 1,026 yards receiving with 1 touchdown. So what is the hype of Kyle Pitts? What are the realistic expectations for a Kyle Pitts? Is it Travis Kelce numbers or is it CJ Uzomah numbers? Is it being the leading receiver as a tight end in the NFL, or a middle of the road 1,000 yards is like my ceiling? Being a 4th overall pick, being a 3rd-year player, and Desmond Ridder saying that they're dogs, best weapons in the AFC South. This is Travis Kelce level here. Like I feel. This is Madden ranking 99 level. If Kyle Pitts can get 13, 14, 1,500 yards this season, 10, 11, 12 touchdowns, Desmond Ridder and the Atlanta Falcons might do some work, guys. The Desmond Ridder, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, guys, that is a nice little core that they have happening over there. And if they finally live up to that hype, if they finally take that next step forward, if the defense goes and they don't blow a 28-point lead, bada bing, bada boom, they are NFC South champions. They have all the makings to be a division championship team right now. They have all of the makings to really explode this season. Because let's be realistic here. Let's look at the South as a whole. The Saints, they are a decent team. We'll see what Derek Carr actually brings to that table. If Michael Thomas is actually healthy, if Alvin Kamara wants to run the ball, right? Carolina Panthers, 1st overall draft pick, and their quarterback, Bryce Young, Mr. 5 foot him like himself. A decent receiving core, decent running back. Finished out 2022 on a kind of a trajectory heading up. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the true wild card, right? Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask. Who is going to be that starter? Who is going to be that team or that quarterback that leads them to the promised land? They still have Godwin. They still have Mike Evans. They still have a pretty good offensive line. They got a pretty good defense. So if they can live up to the hype, meaning Kyle Pitts, a tight end being a quarterback's best friend, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce type S thing there, right? They are NFC South champions. They legitimately are. Even if Kyle Pitts is like a CJ Uzomah, right? 1,000 yards, 900 yards in the season. if he can find the end zone, still, I think the sky is the limit for the Atlanta Falcons this season, all riding on the shoulders of Desmond Ridder and Kyle Pitts. We have a new person in the chat here. Dave's in the chat. He says, bang, bang, and I'm going to finish that with Niners gang. I'm assuming Dave is a Niners fan, but we'll see. Dave, are you a Niners fan? Let me know, man. But bang, bang, Niners gang. I don't understand that saying at all, but it is what it is. Maybe just because it rhymes. Niner gang, bang, bang, pew, pew. Right? Gotta get the Nerf gun out, baby. This is the Mega XL, the big rig. If you know, then you know. But guys, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to us on. Sharing is caring, so if you guys would be most inclined, go ahead and share that as well. It would be fan-freaking-tastic. But moving on. Hashtag One Pride. The Detroit Lions, as they like to put some respect on their name for the 2023 season, they are up here. They are going to win the NFC North. They're going to win a couple playoffs games. They are Super Bowl contenders. They are a little bit of this. They are a little bit of that. And they just made a trade. They just made one of the dumbest trades out there. They have just picked up Denzel Mims from the New York Jets. Let's flash back to a couple days ago. The New York Jets have come out saying that Denzel Mims is either going to be released or be traded. So usually when a player is going to be released, they haven't found any trade suitors, yada, yada, yada. So the Detroit Lions must have thought there must have been some people out there that are going to get a Denzel Mims. They wanted a production of 186 yards per season his last season. Hey, his rookie year, guys, he exploded off the map, right? 357 yards receiving. Second year, 133 yards receiving, and last year, 186 yards receiving. Denzel Mims has come out and said that, I am surprised that I was traded. I'm surprised I was released. Pause. Rewind to 2022. Rewind to my man wasn't getting the ball. Rewind when the Jets were kind of like, yeah, right? Denzel Mims said, I wanted to be traded. Denzel Mims said, I wanted out. And now you are surprised all of a sudden that you are getting pushed out of New York? You think since, hey, we're going to win us some games this season. Maybe I want to be around and win a Super Bowl, get a little hardware on my hand. No, not so fast. But the Detroit Lions, can you guys be any stupider? Can I use the R? Can I use the R word? Are you guys just flat out retarded? I've said it once and I'll say it again. The Detroit Lions are scared to win. This year, they have all the hype in the world. This year, they are supposed to do well. They're supposed to win the NFC North. They're supposed to win a playoff game. They're supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. It looks like the front office, the GM, hell, even the head coach, they're like, hey, let's sabotage our team as much as we can. Let's get our two running backs out that have, obviously DeAndre Swift has had a little bit of injury problems, but Jamal Williams, that was kind of dumb. Let's get a rookie running back. Let's waste 2 draft picks on somebody that was going to be released anyways by the New York Jets, and that will give us 186 yards a season. Oh, he had 357 in his rookie year. Okay, let's average it out. 200 yards a season. Tyreek Hill is going to give you 200 yards a game. So you wasted 2 draft picks. I mean, yes, it was a 6th and a 7th round draft pick. Well, whatever, right? But come on. There has been a lot of non-needle movers the last couple days. A lot of non-needle movers, people coming out in the media trying to hype up their team. Allen Robertson, DeAndre Hopkins, right? Not a lot of needle movers. This one puts my needle below and tucks it into my booty hole. I did like Denzel Mims. He is great on Madden. I love him running a little slant route, bada bing, bada boom, dump it off. Woo! The Lions already got all that. Per NFL.com, he is a 7th receiver on that team. The 7th receiver on that team. Lions fans, does this move the needle? Does this perk your interest? Does this be like, hey, this move right here, baby? Come on now. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down. James, I saw your comment, Rise, come in as you started this segment, but let's go ahead and tinker back around. This is about the Falcons. James says, I think it will between the Saints and the Falcons in that division, and the Saints will edge them out. Carolina is a 500 team, and Todd Bowles will fail at coaching in Tampa Bay and ruin the team. There are, excuse me, sorry about that. Whoa. There are a lot of things to unwrap here, James. I swallowed my own spit. Sorry about that. But there are a lot of things to unravel here. To say the division is between the Saints and the Falcons, I can support you on that. But I'm going to add a caveat. Only if Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. If Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, I agree with you on this 100%. I think the Falcons are going to shock some people this season. James, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were the one that said the Saints were going to be a dark horse all season long and possibly make a Super Bowl run. Now, Carolina Panthers, a 500 team. The Carolina Panthers are going to be a lot better than people think. Now, obviously, it is all on the shoulders of Bryce Young. Obviously, it is all on the shoulders of a nice young nucleus that they have working there. But I do have faith that they will be a little bit better than a 500 team. I'm thinking 9, 10, possibly 11 wins for the Carolina Panthers. They have a pretty easy schedule this season. Now, Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles is not a very good coach. He had Tom Brady, right? Who was the coach before for him? Big old fat guy that couldn't even get the walkie-talkie around his waist. What was his name? One of the best coaches, out there. Put Tom Brady in his pace, called him out, did that, right? Todd Bowles. Wow. He seems to be more of like a people coach. He's a people pleaser. He's like, hey man, you should consider doing this, right? You should consider, doing the, but he doesn't say, do this now, right? It's like, if it suits you, do this, right? He may have been a good offensive coordinator. Actually, what Todd Bowles was a defensive coordinator. Byron Leftwich is the OC. He may have been a good DC. There's just some people that are not built to be head coaches, and I think Todd Bowles is one of them. And Bruce Arians, that's right. Now he's like what? Player personnel director or something. He's some type of front office situations. Thanks, James, Stan Arthur. Yeah, you guys are nailing it. Bruce Arians, you guys are nailing it right there. But James says yes, Saints playoff run, but not Super Bowl. So when we unwrap this comment, Saints can make a playoff run, but not a Super Bowl run. Does that mean they just win a weak NFC South and they get into the playoffs as like a 7-11 team? Or are they legit going to make a playoff run? 10, 11, 12 win team. Be a threat. Maybe win a wild card. What kind of playoff run are we talking about, James? That's what I want to know. We'll let that simmer. We'll let that marinate. What kind of playoff run are we referring to? Is it NFC Championship game? divisional game or simply just making it. Making it. Faking it till we make it, baby. I don't know. Let's move on. Let's let that marinate a little bit. Answer that question, James. Answer that question. Next up, guys, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is ready to, quote, show his worth. Saquon Barkley is ready and prepared to sit out the 2023 NFL season, or at least hold out for at least a couple weeks till he gets those dollar bills. Yo, I did see his interview on a podcast saying, like, he doesn't want to do it, but he's prepared to do it. And that's how he is going to show his worth to the New York Football Giants. Guys, Saquon Barkley is a very talented running back. Saquon Barkley definitely does add a dynamic to the New York Football Giants that they do not have right now. But Saquon Barkley, if you do sit out the 2023 NFL season and, quote, show your worth to the New York Giants, what happened to Le'Veon Bell when he, quote, showed his worth and then got a payday for the New York Jets? We never heard from that man ever again, right? Yes, he was a part of the Super Bowl Chiefs and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but let's just be honest. It was nothing to what he had in Pittsburgh. There are a couple free agent running backs out there right now that will gladly take your spot, Saquon. Delvin Cook, Zeke Elliott, Leonard Fournette. There are 3 running backs right there that they can sign to that the price tag that you're asking for, and they'll at least play 17 games for a couple seasons. They'll at least be out there, doing work, showing their worth on the field. Zeke would love nothing better to play for the rival Giants, to play the Dallas Cowboys twice a year and stick it to him for a couple 100 yards. Delvin Cook just wants to play football. He doesn't care where he plays at this point. He just wants to play football. Saquon Barkley, you can try to show your worth. You can try, but unfortunately, the running back market in the NFL is dead. Yes, you do have a couple of those outliers. You do have a Christian McCaffrey making $16 million a season. Zeke was making $15 million a season last year, right? Alvin Kamara making like $14 million. Those are outliers, but those are also players that play a hell of a lot more than you have. Yes, Christian McCaffrey has missed a lot of games. Zeke did miss a couple games, but when they're in there, they produce. When you are in there, we don't know what you're going to do. I like I said, I'm not trying to take away anything from Saquon. I think he is a good talent. I think in the right system, he can be a top running back in the NFL. But that system is not with the New York Giants. That system is not in the NFC in general, right? He would be a great fit for any AFC team that is going to pass the ball, open it up, and let him kind of run wild for about 12 plays a game. So Saquon, you can sit out, you can show your worth, but the Giants are going to say, kick rocks. We have you for a whole year. We're not trading you. And then if you do it again, we're just going to sign it to like another tag. So either you come and report, or we'll get Zeke. We'll get Dalvin Cook, and you can sit here on the bench. You cannot get paid. You cannot play in the NFL, and you can get 2 years older, and nobody's really going to watch you then. Ball is not in your court, Saquon, unfortunately. The ball is in the New York Giants' court. The New York Giants own the field, they own the ball, and they own the court. You really have no leverage, my man. Really have no leverage. Circling back over to the Saints here. James says 11 to 12 wins. No way they make it past the NFC Championship game versus the 49ers. This is the Saints we are talking about here. Well, James, I love you like a brother and fuck you like a sis. Actually here, bang, bang, Niners gang, as Dave said, right? The Niners are not going to the NFC Championship game. The San Francisco 49ers are not even going to make the playoffs. The San Francisco 49ers are a great defense. They are a really good offense. They are a semi-okay coached team. They are not an NFC Championship team this year. Brock Purdy is not the answer. Trey Lance is not the answer. The answer they had at quarterback was Jimmy G. And they decided they wanted him out for a couple years. Why? Who the hell knows? Who the hell cares at the end of the day? But they effed up. He says it's coming from a Dolphins fan. Who cares about the Dolphins? Oh, wait. I do today. I care about the Miami Dolphins today. And Tua has officially put that bullseye right on the back of the Miami Dolphins. Tua has hyped up the Miami Dolphins so high that they are going to come crashing down hard if they do. And it is going to be a shit show to watch. Tua has come out and put the label on the Miami Dolphins that they are, quote, legit contenders in the AFC. They are Super Bowl contenders, and they cannot be tamed this season. The offense is going to be dangerous. The defense is going to be top-notch. They are legit contenders in the AFC. Not only the East, but the AFC. They are, quote, a top 2 team in the AFC. There's no doubt, he says. There's no doubt about it. Guys, are the Miami Dolphins ready to have this bullseye put on their back? Are the Miami Dolphins ready to be that contending team? Are the Miami Dolphins really prepared to get a team's best shot each and every week? With that being said, I've said it Monday show, right? That there are 12 legit teams in the AFC that can be Super Bowl contenders. If they get hot at the right time, they can make a Super Bowl run. Miami Dolphins were one of those teams. However, I understand that this is preseason. I understand this is the dog days of summer. OTAs are just starting. Everybody's fresh. Everybody's 100. Everybody's just on cloud 9. Hey, we're back at work. We're making dollar bills. We are Super Bowl favorites. But do you come out and say that? If you are Tua, if you are the Miami Dolphins, do you come out and say we are legit contenders in the AFC and we're going to the Super Bowl? Now, James, Arthur, I know you guys are Miami Dolphins fans. I know you guys want to hear your quarterback say this, or do you? I like to hear my skill players say that, right? Give me Tyreek Hill saying that. Hell yeah, baby. Give me that ego. Running back, give me that ego. Defensive players, give me that ego. But quarterbacks are supposed to be humble, right? Quarterbacks are supposed to be kind of the level out of everybody. Should Tua be saying this? I think not. Not because the Dolphins aren't legit Super Bowl contenders. Not because they're not legit AFC contenders. Tua, you don't want to put that bullseye on you, man. You don't want to get those shots from Crosby or Chris Jones or J.J. Watt or whoever else. You don't want to get that forearm across the face mask. One wrong hit and you're done, right? That's not us saying, that is doctors saying, right? That is the NFL saying, hey, man, you get knocked out one more time, you're out of here. Don't put that bullseye on your back. Simmer down now. Simmer down now, you hear? Add it up. Simmer plus down plus now. Equals simmer down now, so simmer down now, you hear? If you know, you know. If you guys know that quote, put it down in the comments and let me know. Let me know where that is from. But Tua, Dolphins, slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. We are, he says, James Chamberlain, that is. He says, we are legit contenders, as in the Miami Dolphins, but there's a thing in the Midwest called Patty Mahomes. There is a thing in the Midwest called Patty Mahomes. There's also a thing in the East Coast called Mac Jones. There's also a thing in the East called Josh Allen. There's also a thing in the North called Joe Burrow. There's also a thing in the North called Deshaun Watson. There's also a thing in the North called Lamar Jackson. There's also a thing in the North called Kenny Pickett. There's a thing in the South called Trevor Lawrence. The AFC is so loaded from top to bottom that can we legit? I mean, yes, I said it. There are 12 legit teams that can be Super Bowl contenders. The ones that I left out were the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans. Did I put the Ravens there? Like, I don't think the Ravens are like a legit Super Bowl favorite by any means. And then I left out the Broncos. I mean, yes, there is a thing called Patty Mahomes. Yes, James, you are correct. He is a great asset to any team. The best quarterback in the AFC, held the best quarterback in the NFL. But let me ask you this. As a Dolphins fan, James, Arthur, whoever else is out there as a Miami Dolphins fan, as a Miami Dolphins fan, do you guys want that bullseye on your back? You already have Tyreek Hill saying 2,000 yards Super Bowl or bust, right? Jalen Waddle's kind of laying in the weeds, scoping it out, like, ooh, yeah, doing that big old black like that fat black man. Ooh, yeah. You guys double, triple team Tyreek. I'll be wide open. I'll get 1,500 yards this season. We are on the same level except for KC. They are a step ahead, and it's going to take the entire AFC to take that team out. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. James says the Miami Dolphins, as in we, are on the same level except for Kansas City. They are a step ahead, and it's going to take the entire AFC to take that team out. Now, there are certain teams in the AFC that match up to each other very, very well. The Bengals have the Kansas City Chiefs number as of late. The Chiefs have the Buffalo Bills number as of late. The Buffalo Bills have the number of the Bengals as of late. And, last year, obviously, whatever, right? But it is the old saying, any given Sunday, right? With that being said, yes, the Miami Dolphins are on the same level of all of the true contenders in the AFC. The Chiefs might be a step ahead, right? But there is a difference between a hungry team and a kind of a fulfilled team. The Kansas City Chiefs might be a fulfilled team. They have won 2 Super Bowls in 4 seasons. Miami Dolphins haven't. New England Patriots haven't. Buffalo Bills haven't. Bengals haven't. Now, as the Chiefs might be a step ahead, that hunger drives me a little bit more. That pain and anguish of losing the Chiefs in the playoffs pushes me a little bit more, right? Miami Dolphins and Chiefs are on the same level. Bengals and Chiefs are on the same level. Patriots and Chiefs are all, everybody, yes, the Chiefs on paper might be a little bit step further, but that hunger, that drive, that anguish puts everybody on the same level. I'm not trying to take anything from any team whatsoever. I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Yes, I'm wearing a Cowboys hat, but Sean Lee, where's Sean Lee's signature? Sean Lee is my dude. Slow it down. I like the confidence, but I'd rather Tua take a silent killer approach. He wants him to be a silent killer. Hide in the bushes. Pew, pew. Yeah. I kind of want my quarterback to be humble, like a little bit. But also, see, I go back and forth. There are some players I'm like, just shut up and ball, right? But then there's some players I'm like, talk your shit, right? Tyreek Hill, get out there and talk your shit. But they were like, Tua, you need to be quiet. You need to slow it down, baby. Travis Kelce, talk your shit. But then like Sky Moore, lay down a little low. Yeah. I'm kind of a fan of the cocky ego thing. The other half is not. She hates those people. She's like, shut up and ball. Arthur Brown said, it's all about the hype. I love it. Bring it on. Come one, come all. Yes, this is the time of year where it is time to hype up that team. Sell those tickets. I'm in the process of buying Miami versus Buffalo Bills in New York. I'm hyped about it. I want to see a Stephon Diggs versus Tyreek Hill go yard for yard. I want to see Josh Allen throw for 400 yards. I want to see a great defense performance like as well. Hype it up. But hype it up if you're not a New York fan. If you are a New York Jets fans, shut up, sit down, and know your role, jabroni. Melvin Middleton's in the chat. What's up, Melvin? Long time no see. Actually, I've never seen you before. So, man, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We are live right here on 2 p.m. East Coast time until for at least another month. Then it'll be 10 a.m. But he says, do we think this year Justin Herbert will get over that hump and do something? So let's bring up the old Chargers schedule this season. I can tell you right off the top of my head, Melvin, that I do not think the Chargers are going to make the playoffs as of right now. Now, we will be re-breaking down their schedule middle of August once I see a little bit of OTAs, once I see some scrimmages and possibly a preseason game. But the Chargers kind of have a tough schedule, right? They play the Miami Dolphins. They play the Vikings. They play the Cowboys, the Chiefs. They play the Lions. They play the Packers, the Ravens, the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, and then obviously the AFC West teams. They have a very, very tough schedule. So even if somehow, some way, the Chargers sneak into the playoffs, 8-9, 9-8 type of team, sneak in there, right? They're probably going to be a first-round exit. Just because they're going to be so beaten and battered, and they have a tough schedule. Now, I do like a little Justin Herbert. His commercial with Patrick Mahomes on the subway thing, I think it is, not too shabby. Austin Eckler is a good part, even though he's never broke 1,000 yards. Give him extra $1 million to be subpar. Cool. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, a good 1-2 punch. Joey Bosa on the defensive side of the ball with like Mack and SC Jackson, right? They still have a Samuels as well, Asante, right? The Chargers have some parts together. They have some pieces together, but I'm not for sure if Brandon Stanley is the correct coach for this team. I'm not for sure the offensive line is put together like enough for them to really to catapult. Now is Melvin is over the hump winning a playoff game or simply just making the playoffs? Last year they made the playoffs and they blew a 28-point lead in the fourth quarter, right? Is over the hump winning a playoff game? No, they're not getting over the hump. If that is getting over the hump. Arthur Brown says, this is football, baby, not golf. Talk your shit, baby. Melvin in the chat here says, if Tua can stay healthy, I'm definitely curious to see what he can do for a full season of playing. Yes, this is a big if. Go ahead and capitalize that at the lock, that F, because this is a big if. Many people are dogging the whole Tyreek Hill 2,000 yard thing yet. I'm kind of on board with it. He had, 1,700 yards last season on 96 catches, and Tua missed what? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but he missed 5 games, right? He missed 5 games last season and still had Tua missed 5 games last season, and Tyreek Hill still had 1,700 yards catching on 96 catches. The year that Cooper Kupp was 50 yards away from 2,000, he had 149 catches. If Tyreek Hill can get an extra 20 balls from Tua, 2,000 yards is not a reach. If Tua can stay healthy, stay upright on his feet, able to deliver the ball accurately all season long, the Miami Dolphins are an AFC championship team. They are. I said it right here. On paper, on this old notepad here, they are the best team in the AFC. Yes, James, I know you said that the Kansas City Chiefs are a step higher than the Miami Dolphins, but on paper, the Dolphins are a great team. They have a top 5 defense. They have a top 5 offense. They have one of the hottest young coaches in the NFL. Even though he looks like a fucking nerd, but whatever. Yeah, I'm very curious as well. Arthur Brown says, I play this game and talk shit my whole career. Even if I knew I was going to get my ass whooped, I still talked that shit. Arthur Brown, I am the same freaking way, my man. As a linebacker, I was in your face, I was in your grill all game long. This is vividly ingrained in my head until the day I die. It was like my second game playing arena football. If you guys do not know what arena football is, it is 7-on-7, 50-yard field long, 25-yard wide. Got those padded walls like just like indoors. A very, very fast, very high-scoring game, right? Well, I was still in the mindset of CFL. I was still in the mindset of outdoor 11, 12-man football, right? I did not realize that arena football is bada bing, bada boom, bada bom, bom. I didn't have time to diagnose anything. I didn't know how to see anything. And by the time I turned my head to see something, the receiver caught the ball, trucked my ass, looked at me and pointed at me and go, ha ha, and ran the ball for 30 yards to like score. I was like, oh, you got lucky. You know, still got to talk your shit, right? But quarterbacks don't do that, man. Linemen do. Defensive players do. Wide receivers and quarterbacks are supposed to be humble, right? Chargers will be fighting the Raiders for the 3rd in that division. You are 100% correct. The AFC West was supposed to be the best division last year, right? The most dangerous. All 4 teams can make the playoffs, right? Obviously, the Broncos are not there anymore. Russell Wilson is a has-been, right? Raiders, they have an opportunity to make some really, really good noise in the AFC. If Jimmy G can stay healthy, if Josh McDaniel isn't a total bozo as a head coach. But I get the Chargers at least second place. Now, 9-win team, second place team is not good enough to make the playoffs in the AFC. But if it's a second, third fight, I will give you that. If it's a third and fourth fight, not so fast. Keenan Allen is getting up there in age, says Melvin. I think they need to get a solid young receiver core in the next year or 2. That is 100% correct. The Chargers need to start drafting players to build the depth. However, Melvin, what is more important? Building a solid offensive line that will be there for 12, 13, 14 years, look, i.e. the Dallas Cowboys, or getting some young receivers that can, catch the ball if Justin Herbert has some time. I think they need to build the offensive line. Offensive line is a little bit more valuable right now than some young receivers. Offensive line is a little bit more valuable to protect your franchise quarterback, right? And we've said it in discussion on the Facebook page, A+ offensive line will make a C+ running back look like an MVP. Take that for what you will. Correct. I have confidence in Tyreek getting 2,000 yards than I do Lamar Jackson for throwing 6,000 yards. I doubt Lamar Jackson throws for 3,500 yards. Melvin, I think we become best friends. I got a trash can right there. It has Lamar Jackson's face on it because Lamar Jackson is complete trash. Lamar Jackson is a good athlete. Lamar Jackson brings a dynamic to the game that not many people have. I will give him that. However, when you put Lamar Jackson next to the QB, he is subpar. He is not a very good quarterback. He can make dynamic plays, but making dynamic plays is different from being a good quarterback. With that being said, Lamar Jackson is not throwing for 6,000 yards. Lamar Jackson is not throwing for 6,000 yards. If Patrick Mahomes can't do it, if Josh Allen can't do it, if Joe Burrow can't do it, if Tua can't do it, Lamar Jackson is definitely not throwing for 6,000 yards. He might have 6,000 total yards, rushing and kickoff return, punt return, and passing, right? 6,000 total yards, but 6,000 passing yards? Get out of here with that crap, man. Get out. Jeez. James says Sean Payton in Denver is the X factor. I think they get second. I think they get hot in the second half of the season. So Sean Payton to the Denver Broncos is really good on paper, right? Yes, I know Sean Payton did miss all of last season. He retired, sat out a year, yada yada yada. However, the Denver Broncos are in a very must-win now mode, right? Russell Wilson, $300 million contract plus 5 draft picks, right? Sean Payton cost him a draft pick as well. So over the next couple seasons, they have very, very few draft picks. 5th, 6th, 7th round draft picks is pretty much what all they got. They gave everything else up for Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. That puts all the burden on them right here, right now. So they can get hot in the second half of the season, sure. But the first half of the season is going to be a tall time for the Denver Broncos. Many people think that if Russ does not cook the first 6 weeks of the season, he'll find his ass on the bench. Ben DiNucci is waiting in the wings, baby. So Sean Payton might be the X factor, might get them hot in the second half of the season, but is it too little too late? The Denver Broncos have to win right now. They are not building a 3-year project. Yes, I do know that when Sean Payton went to New Orleans, they went from 3-13 to 13-3 the following season. Sean Payton brought in his guy, Drew Brees, right? They turned that franchise around. Can it happen again? Is Russ as good as Drew Brees? 4th year in the league, like 12th year in the league. I just don't see it. I don't see the Denver Broncos being relevant for a very, very long time because of what they've given up to get Sean Payton and Russ. I think they're SOL. Melvin, Chargers fan, I'm assuming, says 100% getting those guys in the trenches is much more important than getting a young receiver core. Now, I'm not saying you cannot go out and get a couple receivers, right? Hell, the Chiefs picked up Rice guy in like the 6th round, right? They picked up Sky more in the 7th round, right? There is young talent out there in the receiver report, right? Many of the good running backs that would be drafted 3rd, 4th round picks are going as wide receivers. And they're making names for themselves, right? There are many athletic quarterbacks out there that can be transitioned into a receiver. Damn near every Division I college quarterback right now is a scrambling type of quarterback. Athlete. Put him as receiver, right? The Kentucky Wildcat. Randall Cobb. He was a quarterback. Transitioned to receiver. Has had a pretty good NFL career, right? There was another Kentucky Wildcat that was a quarterback that got drafted by the Raiders in like the 2nd round. His name's slipping my mind. He's not in the NFL right now because he went to the Raiders and had like a dismal life over there. But it definitely does happen it happens more than we think. The Detroit Lions, he says, hype or are they real? I'm a Dolphins fan. I've been a Dolphins fan since the early 90s because he was born in 1991, it looks like. But I'm from Michigan, so seeing the hometown team finally achieve something, some type of form of success would be great. So we've actually posted this on our Facebook page. And Melvin, you are obviously new here. So I actually have, as of right now, breaking down the games again. Guys, when I break this down, I think I broke this down back in June, right? I actually have the Detroit Lions going to the the NFC Championship game versus the Dallas Cowboys. So if you want to say that hype is real, sure. Now, as of late, their moves that they are making makes me suspect. Makes me a little sus, as the kids say, as my high school kids say. They're a little sus. But the hype for the Detroit Lions is real, right? They do have a good offense. Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. They do have a really good defense as well. And I love me some Dan Campbell. Watching Hard Knocks makes me want to run through the wall for that guy, right? I do love me some Dan Campbell. Now, when we talk about the hype right now around the Detroit Lions is winning the NFC North. Are they going to live up to that hype? I don't think so. I think right now it is the Vikings and the Packers division to lose. That's right, the Packers. Now, playoff hype, I think they can make the playoffs. I think they can win a playoff game. I think they can make some noise in the playoffs. I will buy that hype, right? Regular season hype, it is going to take them some time to adjust from being the chaser to the chasee, from being the hunter to the hunted, right? It is going to take time to transition that. They also got a lot harder schedule this season. I like as well. Excuse me. Their division is no cakewalk. They play the Cowboys. They play the Chiefs, right? They play the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders. It is. I am buying the hype for postseason, but not the hype for the regular season. I don't love the regular season Detroit Lions right now. Now, it could change in August once I see some OTAs, once I see Gibbs on the field, once I see Mims on the field, see how they integrate into their offense, how they work with Jared Goff. It could all change. August is coming. We will break it down again. So Melvin, stay tuned here, man. Tune into the live, and we'll break down the Detroit Lions again. Right now, I think I had them at 10-7. I think second in the NFC North. But they are an NFC Championship team, I think. Drafting Gibbs to just trade away Swift away for nothing definitely didn't make sense to me. You are correct. On draft night, when we did the live draft show in 812 Bourbon Street, up there in Chicago, Illinois, great time, great stage. Oh man, that place was jumping. Cannot wait to get back up there to do another live show. We were shocked that two running backs went 10 and 12 in the first round. We're like, what? You never draft a running back in the first round. And then the Detroit Lions let Jamal Williams walk, which was their leading rusher from last season, right? They traded DeAndre Swift for like a 6th round pick, right? It was very like, what are they doing? We basically said that they are scared to win. They are scared of success. But looking back on it now, right? Running backs are a dime a dozen. Running backs are easily replaceable, right? Yes, we do like a two-headed back system. I did like Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. However, DeAndre Swift was never on the field. A little Saquon Barkley syndrome, right? Like a little bit of Zeke Elliott syndrome. Like, hey, Is he going to play? Is he not? I drafted Swift on my fantasy team. I think I played him twice all season long because I didn't know if he was going to be healthy or not. Gibbs is going to be hungry. I think Gibbs is going to do well. I've been watching some of his college highlights. Of course, highlights, you always look good, right? They always put the best clips together. I'm going to be watching a full game of him probably tonight or tomorrow and breaking it down on our members only live here. I can't actually with today. So that's actually Monday is when we're breaking down Gibbs. So we will see. We will see. DeAndre Swift was hit by the injury bug. Definitely a factor. Definitely a factor. But guys, that is going to be it for today. Thank you guys for chiming in. Thank you for commenting. But I do got some news. We will be doing the After Hours show very, very soon. Probably in the next month. Probably mid-August, 10 p.m. East Coast time. The After Hours show is back. With that being said, there will be a link posted in every live stream of the After Hours that you can join the show. You click on the link, you pop up on my screen, bada bing, bada boom. We can have this conversation. We can have a great show. We can have a beer. We can do a little bit of this. Or I'll have the phone lines open too. You can call in and talk your shit. It's After Hours. No holds bar. The only thing I want, no N-words. Don't call me cracker or a coon. Those are all out. Once I hear those 3 words, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. But everything else, clown, stupid, retard, whatever you want, bring them on, baby. Let's talk some NFL talk. After Hours coming very, very soon. Probably mid-August, 10 p.m. East Coast time. James, thank you for the support, man. You are the man. He says, great show today. Melvin says, love it. I'm a fan of the Facebook page. Definitely cool seeing the live show. Hey, man, talk that shit. We love it. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. East Coast time. Have a great Thursday. Friday is almost here. But Man Hour Nation, rise up. Live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Every Monday through Friday, right here on Facebook.com and, of course, YouTube.com. Always find us on Spotify.